Welcome back, everyone. Now that we've gone over the basics about objects and data structures in Python, we're going to have an assessment test to quickly check your understanding. So we're going to do a quick overview of your first test in this lecture. And as a reminder, you can download all the notebooks that go along with this course from GitHub or as a zip file from the course overview lecture. So check out those first couple of lectures. We explain how to get all the information, all the notebooks there. And then you have the option of either downloading the notebook and then answering the questions directly in that notebook, or you can just open up the link and then open up your own notebook locally and answer the questions there. So let's very quickly show you how to do this. I'm going to open the GitHub link right now. Okay, so this is what the GitHub page looks like. We've already shown you this before in the early lectures in this course. Come to Python Object Data Structure Basics, and as a reminder, you can click on here and then download zip to download everything as a zip file. You unzip it, you have those notebook files, and then you can use Anaconda Navigator to go to wherever those zip files or those unzipped files were saved. Click on Python Object Data Structure Basics, scroll down here until you get to Assessment Test. Notice there's also a solutions file. In the very next lecture, we'll go through the solutions. So all the tests here that are in notebook form, you can do a self-assessment against the solutions lecture or the solutions notebook. Let's click on that assessment test. And this one's going to be pretty straightforward. Because you don't know a whole lot about Python right now, we can't give you too many technical questions. Later on, as you learn about functions and object-oriented programming, the questions are going to get a lot more technical, and there's going to be kind of a right answer and a wrong answer. But right now, these are pretty basic questions. The first one, I just want you to write a brief description of the following object types and data structures that we've learned about: numbers, string, lists, tuples, and dictionaries. This is really just for you to quickly write down, make sure you understand what the differences between a list and a dictionary are, for example, or the differences between a list and a tuple. So as a reminder, you can click on any cell and then change the cell type to Markdown in case you want to write yourself some notes. Up next, we have just a couple of questions about the numbers lectures. So I want you to write an equation that uses multiplication, division, and exponent, addition, and subtraction that when you put it all together is equal to 100.25. So this is just to make sure that you remember all these arithmetic signs. Should be pretty straightforward. And this is just to test your memory. Again, you can just work backwards from 100.25 to actually grab the numbers that makes that work. Then I want you to answer these three questions without typing any code, and then use code to check your answer. So I want you to see what's the value of this expression, and this expression. So this is testing order of operations, see if you remember that. And then here's an interesting question. What is the actual type? So that's the data type of the result of here. So as a hint, we have an integer being added to a floating point number being added to an integer. So what would the type of that be? Then I want you to find a number's square root as well as its square. So find its square root and then figure out what its square is. So to the power of 2. Okay, then we have strings, and for the given string hello, give an index command that returns the letter E. So you're going to enter your code below right here, so print out E using indexing. Then I want you to reverse the string hello using slicing, so we kind of showed a quick way to do that later on, or earlier in the course I should say. Then given the string hello, give two methods of producing the letter O using indexing. So notice O is the last letter in the string S, so there's two methods of grabbing that last letter. See if you can figure them out using indexing. Then lists, I want you to build the list 000 two separate ways. Go ahead and review the lists lecture to figure out how to quickly build out the list two separate ways. Then I want you to reassign hello in this nested list to say goodbye instead. So using indexing, grab hello and then reassign it to be goodbye. Then I want you to sort this list below, so see if you remember that method call. After that, we have dictionaries. So this one's going to be a little tricky because first off, we start off with just simple grabbing the keys and value pairs. So for this first dictionary, or really all the dictionaries, I want you to grab the string hello. The first one should be pretty basic. You see here you have a simple key, and then you have a hello. So it's just D and then simple key, so I kind of gave you the answer for that one. The second one's going to get a little more complicated, so let's zoom in and really look at it here. Notice that we have a dictionary nested inside another dictionary. So you're going to need two calls there. And I recommend that you break this down in steps. Then we have something that's even a little trickier. And just as a quick reminder, these are pretty unrealistic expressions of dictionaries or lists. This is just for you to practice indexing and key calls. So again, try to grab hello from this. And if you're able to do it, then you really understand indexing and lists. And then finally, this is the last one. This is going to be pretty hard and annoying, but just break it down step by step by grabbing keys and then index key and then maybe another index, etc., until you get to hello. Then I have a quick little question here that we've probably asked you before. Can you sort a dictionary? Why or why not? Then we have tuples. So what's the major difference between tuples and lists, and how do you create a tuple? Then we have sets. So what is unique about a set? What makes a set different than, say, a dictionary? And then I want you to use a set to find the unique values of the list below. And then finally, we have a section on Booleans, and this is a bonus section, so you don't really need to do this if you don't want to, because it uses comparison operators, which is going to be the very next section of the course. So consider this kind of a bonus section for you to read through, because in the very next section, we're actually going to cover a lot of this. But what we see here are operators. So these are comparison operators, the description of the operator, and then an example of the operator. And I want to see if you can kind of teach yourself what these comparison operators are in order to answer what the outputs are here. And even if you don't really know comparison operators formally in Python, it should be pretty obvious what something like this would be. Is 2 greater than 3 if you've done some basic mathematics before. Again, this is an optional section because we haven't officially gone over comparison operators. We're going to do that in the very next section of the course, so kind of think of this as a bit of a preview before that. Then we have one final question. What is the Boolean output of the cell block below? So again, a bonus question here for you. Okay, so best of luck, and in the very next lecture, we're going to go over the answers for all of this. Again, these are more kind of open-ended questions. Later on in the course, we're going to get a lot more technical in our questions as you learn more. We'll see you at the next lecture for the solutions.